cold. Ellie Time. Oh, here we go. I'm not doing this right. What am I doing? It's warm, but it's cold. It's weird. Cold, warm day. I want to keep her consistent as much as possible. I hope everyone's having a great day, wherever you guys are in the world. And let's just see how we do, because my hands are freezing. Funnily enough, it's really cold. I'm just going to switch this around so you can see what we're doing. Cold, cold, cold. Cold weather. Right, let me grab my stuff. I'll be right.
I know, I can still help. I'm just going to keep my stream on, the Rachel's stream on.
Oh yeah, that's all right.
She's got a few other people on there.
Has she got more people?
Yes, so there's somebody called the Claw Girl.
Oh, good.
And she's just subscribed, so yeah.
I'll just
keep it on there and listen out every
She's going to do well.
Yeah, she will.
She's going to do really well.
Yep.
She'll probably be better than everybody. She deserves it too, because she works her ass off.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, we've got 23 people and only 1 like. Can we get those likes up, guys? Let's see if we can get to 20.
Everybody, hope you're having a lovely day. I'm going to try and be very brave today. It's really windy, and a lot of people don't like to ride when it's windy. My horses are fairly used to the wind because we live in a very windy area. So I'm not worried about the wind. I'm just worried about my ordinary worries. Oh. Chestnut.
I don't even know. That's how much I don't use it.
The inside of a horse's leg has some little growths. It's a bit like nails. They're called chestnuts, and she gets them, and sometimes when you're putting your hand down there, they're a bit rough. So I like to just tidy it up and make it so it's not silly for it. I'll show you one here. There's one here. That's what it looks like, the stuff that comes off.
Wow.
And it's just flakes off. It's like having bits of fingernails goes off. Doesn't hurt them at all. You pull more off. It will come off on its own. But sometimes it just gets a bit sharp. So just pull it off.
Wow.
And
So cool.
the kelpies like to chew on it and eat it. They'll find that in the grass and eat it.
That's awesome. Okay, we got 31 people in the room and only 1 like. Can we get that way up, guys? Hit that like button, please, and make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who's watching. So I'm going to conquer a bit of my fear again today. And there's one thing that happens in the horse world that isn't a good thing. And that is you get a lot of critical people that criticise about anything and everything. If you want to meet a bunch of Karens, go to a horse show. You will meet every Karen under the sun. And go around horse people. They're the worst kind of people in that way. There are some good ones, but most of the good ones, you never see them because they're quiet and they stay themselves and they don't want to be around the crap. But a lot of the people in the horse world, there's a lot of jealousy because it's all about money for most of them, and they lose the actual joy of being around the animals. All they're worried about is how many ribbons they're going to win, whether or not they've got the prettiest horse, whether or not they've got, you know, this or that or the other. It's not what it's about. The horse doesn't give a shit what saddle you're riding in. It doesn't care what clothes you're wearing. It doesn't care what you look like. It just wants to know that you can communicate with it and you have an understanding, so both of you are comfortable in your endeavours that you're doing. And when you do that, that's when you get good partnerships and good horsemanship.
That's right.
I've been on horses for pretty much since I was 2 years old. It was the first time I was ever put on the back of a horse. I've broken in horses, donkeys, cows, sheep when I was a kid. So I've been on pretty much everything that moves. And I learnt a lot by myself, just nobody around at all. I was 6.5 the first time I ever really got to experience what it was like to bond with a horse, and I didn't even know I was doing it. But I lived in a children's home, and there was a horse in the paddock nearby, and I used to go over there. I called it Sundance, I named it and everything. It's a white horse, and he was a beautiful little thing. He was probably about 13 hands high. At the time, didn't know that you're supposed to have a saddle and a bridle, because the thoroughbred I'd sat on, I just used to get plonked on him in the backyard, and he just used to wander around. So I didn't know that you have to put stuff on them and do stuff. So anyway, I learnt to ride with no bridle, no saddle, no rope, no halter, nothing. And I learned how to communicate with that horse as a 6.5-year-old through till around about 9, and then the horse was sold off and moved after they sold the land nearby. So that was my first experience ever with horses, and I had no idea of the knowledge that I had because of that on how to read horses' body language. I just learnt so much from that horse. And then over the years, I had my own children and things, and then I finally got to a place where I could get horses again, and I got a farm where I could keep them, and I got back into it. And so I've been working over the last 10 years on several different horses. I've done a few rescue horses, and you know, ones that nobody touches, nobody wants, unhandled, wild, crazy things. And I broke them all in, and I got them all done to saddle and cart. Found them homes, got them a place where they weren't going to end up in a knackery, and that's been really good. But then I had a bit of an issue because I broke my back a few years ago, and that made me very cautious. And then I had a few other incidences, and now I'm actually at a point where I'm terrified of getting on. And because I'm getting old and my bones aren't the same, and when you have a fall, it takes a hell of a lot longer to bounce back than when you're 20 or younger. So I'm very nervous about getting on. I've no problem working with a horse. That's crazy. That's not the problem. The problem is getting on them. I'm happy to work with them on the ground because I can put something between us if the elbow's pear-shaped. This girl's really quiet at the moment, and well, for the most part, she's an excellent horse. She won't really be much of a bother, only that she's young and she tests. We give you a test.
Awesome. You got some comments coming in. So, first of all, Equestrian 44 Toka Girl says hi.
Hi, how you going?
We have Dan. It says hello from Romania. Where are you from?
Hi, I'm in Australia.
Yep. And we have MK Believe that has said hi a number of times and then says, I subscribe because I love horses. They are so cute. I get to do horseback riding lessons next week.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. And
awesome.
last time I did horseback riding lessons, I rode a horse named Rosie. She was so soft and sweet. I wish I could ride her again, but I'm going to a different barn. Cool.
Okay, so but it's good. You know what? That's a good thing that you get to ride different horses because you'll learn a lot more. If you always ride the same horse, you don't really get to learn a lot, especially if it's a very quiet horse. So it's a good thing to try different horses and different sizes of horses. A small pony going up to a bigger horse like this, and then an even bigger horse, it's very different in how you ride because their stride is different. Your confidence might go down when you get on a bigger horse at first, and you might have to work at feeling strong enough to stay on a larger horse. But really, you can get just as injured on a little horse as you can on a big horse. So the size really shouldn't be what you're worried about. It's more about how you connect and read the horse's body language, and if the horse is showing you things that, you know, perhaps they are unhappy about something, or they're lazy, they don't want to work. This girl does that, and you'll probably see in a minute. She's being very patient right now, but you'll probably see in a minute when I go to put the saddle on, she might change her mind and decide she doesn't want to do anything because she realises, oh, work time's going to come. So I'm going to pop that on
Wow.
right now. But do try different horses, and it's fantastic that you're enjoying it. Always try to enjoy it as much as you can.
That's excellent.
And what's her body language there that you don't? A little bit back, it's not bad. But she's like, here we have.
That's right. Now we had 45 people in the room and only 5 likes. Can we get that way up, guys? Let's see if we can get to 25. We have Altheria Robinson. Welcome, welcome. Blessings and healings. Thank you very much for your.
You were here the other day. Thank you for coming back.
Yep. MLR Flynn. What's your horse's name?
Her name is Ellie, and she actually is my daughter's horse. So she belongs to my daughter, who is also a gifted person, the new Pirate Lord. Now, while I'm doing this, you can see she says she's a bit girthy. So she's coming into season, which simply means her breeding cycle's starting up. So we're heading into spring now. So she's getting a little bit funny about things. And with mares, they become what they call girthy, which is a term that means they don't want things under their belly. It's not as prominent in a gelding because geldings don't have the same sort of cycling as mares do. Mares have all sorts of issues with cycling. They may become more aggressive when they cycle. They may become quieter when they cycle. But often what happens is they have an adverse reaction to having a girth on. And you can see here, she's going to give me a little bit of trouble, but she's not crazy. I have seen many very, very prominent riders, and their mounts are terrible. As soon as they put a girth anywhere near, the horses start striking, kicking, whatever. They just do it up and off they go. But it is behavioural often, and you can tell the difference if it's behavioural or if it's something like an ulcer. There's a lot of ways you can get quite knowledgeable and know how to check your horse for things like ulcers and any kind of injuries or knots in their muscle and things like that. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that. And I check her every time I don't ride. So for instance, on this side, I'm just having a feel in here, and that's soft. And on this side, when I have a feel, there's some ridging in here, and if it's hard or it's prominent, then we know that there could be some muscle problems there. Because they tear around in the paddocks, they do things all the time.
Awesome. Okay, so we got Dan, yes, MK, love horses and like, very good. Altheria Robinson, where's my rooster? There's my rooster. Yeah, we got some roosters hanging around. Thank you so much. Now guys, 32 people in the room and only 6 likes. Let's get those likes way up there, people. Thank you so much, and be sure to subscribe.
So this is an example of a girthy mare. She's not bad though. She's actually a very good girthy mare. She's very gentle compared to what you can get. But I've got another mare who does not get girthy like this, ever. She's only ever once got girthy, and she was like it because she had an ulcer. So we figured out very quickly that she had an ulcer, and we corrected everything. This girl does it because she doesn't want to work. She's feeling like she doesn't want to do any work. She's a bit lazy. And she's going to throw a little tantrum here. So up go the legs. And this is very ordinary stretching behaviours and things like that. It's her basically going, oh, do I need to? Okay, I'm going to do it. And this horse is really one who will tell you things if she doesn't like something. And for instance, if she had an ulcer and I tried to touch her anywhere where there is things, yeah, she's going to carry on anytime I go near that girth.
Yeah.
But if I touched her here when the girth wasn't there and she did that, I'd then be saying, well, is there an ulcer happening? Is something going on? Now I'm going to ask her to walk on. Walk on. Yep.
Come on guys, hit that like button.
There she goes. And she's listening very well this morning because we're getting more and more into a routine. So I'm just going to ask her to walk on. Good girl. Just going to ask her to move. I'm going to keep this out at arm's length at times so she doesn't come in. What I want her to stop doing is cutting across and cutting in. The reason I want her not to cut across is because, number one, if you allow them to do things like that without a purpose, they then start to think that they're in control of what they're doing whenever you're on their back, and you'll have a bit of an issue with them wanting to do their own thing. So when your work time is on, you really want them to be focusing and listening to what you're asking, and she's doing a really good job right now. I'm just wanting her to walk on. She knows what I'm asking. When we get around here, I'm going to turn her. Heard the word turn, and off she goes. We're going to go the other direction. And she says, I'm not going to. So I say, well, yes, we are. She's going to go towards the camera man to try to see if she can put one over him. So she's quite smart. So we're going to get her to keep moving. Now she is both visual cue and audio cue. She understands what I'm asking. Walk on. Now walk on. You don't want to be running at this stage. She's a horse that you need to warm up because she is lazy. If you try to push her too far, see how corrected that? She was going to try and turn that way. It's her decision. I don't want that to be her decision. I want other things to be her decision, but not when I'm trying to direct her. So we want the ability to put the Bible on and things like that to be her decision that she's happy to take it. But ultimately, we want her to listen to us and look for our leadership.
The actual Minecraft
I'm going to ask her to go a little quicker. Yeah. Walk up. Walk up.
Do I need to turn it on?
Walk up. Get a little quicker. And then trot. Trot. Up.
Come on, guys. 60 people in the room and only 6 likes. Let's see if we can hit 50 likes.
And here she goes. And you can see there she's kind of cutting on me there. I'm going to stop that and I'm going to now get assertive here. Because she's the sort of horse, you can see the attitude that comes through with a young horse. Doesn't happen with all of them, but some of them are like that. She's quite dominant. And so I'm going to work her through that. She's gone into a canter. She's anticipating. Back out there, girl. You're going to turn. You're going to turn. Oh, she says, I'm not turning, I'm going to canter. Wanted to turn. I'm going to go that way. Come on. Turn. Good girl. I'd rather she faced me. If she goes straight into a trot, that's nice. And see, the attitude's better. She's listening now. Her ears are listening, not angry. Good girl. The ears are back because they're listening, not cranky. You can tell the difference in her eye. Come on. She's in a bit close, so I'm going to say, back out there. Turn around and come in. Come in. Face him. She knows exactly what I'm asking through a verbal command. Now I'm just going to let her stand there for a second. And then I'm going to ask her to hook. Say hook. Hook on. When I'm asking her to hook on, it means I want her to follow where I'm at and do what I'm... If I'm walking in front of her, I want her to turn and follow what I'm doing. Just want to make sure that's not too tight. Good. And I'm just going to have her stay where she's at. Stay there, mate. Let me grab. Nose is running. And she's going to take off. So if she's going to take off, that's her idea. So her idea is now going to be the idea that she's going to keep moving. Don't let her come into you. We're going to keep walking and look at the cranky attitude. She says, I don't want to. So we're going to move her back. I'm not going to take that. And right about now, that body language should go either way. She can either snap and decide she's going to come in and have a go. And trust me, that dog needs to go. Sudi, go home. And she will kick at that dog if she loses her temper. And this is where the nice quiet pony, Sudi, go home. This is where the nice quiet pony can turn into a raging maniac.
Hey, Ian.
Come on, you want to walk? We're going to walk. Let's go, trot.
82 people and 8 likes. Come on, guys. Let's hit that like button and subscribe to Nervous Rider. She's doing a great job. Let's show her some support.
Up, trot, up. I don't like this attitude she's having. I'm going to turn her again. You heard the word turn and she knows straight away what that means. Watch out. Don't let her get there, she'll kick you. See this back leg coming up there? So this is where I say to people, not every horse is a nice horse. Some are stronger in their own attitude and they want their own way. She's one who's like that. She can become a nice horse if you consistently work with her and if you're assertive enough. If you don't assert yourself with her, she'll just bowl you over. And you won't win with her. If you get aggressive with her, she will attack you. So never, a dominant horse like this, never go at them in an attack. If you have to do a correction, you must correct right at the moment that it needs to be done. Never with anger. If she picks up that you're angry with her, she will go at you as if you're another mare in the paddock. She has an issue with wanting to be on top. That's never going to change. This horse will always want that. She will always have to have a strong leader. Oh, what's that? I don't know what that
That's
is.
right. Wow, so many people in the room. Guys, if you could please hit that like button, it would be fantastic. Let's show some support for Nervous Rider. Thank you.
So a minute ago she's running away from me as soon as she saw the bridle. Now she's hooking on. Yeah, well. So the way we got her to come to me was to get her to change her mind about whether she wanted to run and keep working. And because she's a lazy horse, the reverse psychology works beautifully on her. Whereas my other mare, if she decided she didn't want to do something, she'll run all day. She's an Arab. She can go all day long and run from me. I chased her for 6 hours the very first time I ever tried to catch her in a paddock. Next time I went out there, it was only half an hour. Next time she just turned around and came straight to me because she knew I wasn't going to give up. So consistency and persistence, but also knowing when to stop is another thing. Because sometimes, with young horses in particular, like young children, there are moments where, if you push too hard, you can undo all the good you're doing. You've got to be able to read the body language, and you can see there she's more interested in whatever's over there. She's looking for the neighbour's horses.
no,
We're going to
it's just
touch
lava.
nose with this. We're going to say good morning. We're going to move back. She didn't pull away, so we're going to allow her that. We're going to do it now and see what she does. A little bit further up the nose. I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure and ask her to drop. I want her to have it up here near her head, and then we're going to pull back. Good girl. And if she starts to move backwards, I will just walk with her.
Thanks for sticking around.
If she can do this till the cows come home, I don't mind. I can take all day. There's something over there that she's looking at. Look at the face on her. What is it? Oh, she's looking over there at something. I don't know what it is. Can you see what that is?
What is it?
There's something over there that's taking
I
her.
wouldn't have a clue.
So let's get her back on focus, back on us. I don't want her to be worrying about something else. I want her to worry about what we're doing here. I want her to drop. Good. Relax. Now we've refocused up. You don't want this to take us 2 hours or 3 hours or more. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop that back there. And we're going to watch out for this leg. She strikes always, usually with this side. She's done it from the day one. A lot of the behaviours were instilled very early with her. There was a lady who had her that just didn't ever correct anything. Gave her a spoiled princess complex. And if you do that with a stallion, you're in real big trouble. But it's really bad with a mare as well. So you've got to be aware of her limitations as far as her ability to work with you. She's relaxed, but she knows what she's doing. So she's not pulling a terrible face right now. She's just like, I'm relaxed, but I'm going to try and get out of having to do anything because I'm lazy. So her problem is more so laziness. She just wants to cruise around and graze all day and do nothing but that, which you can't blame her. If I was a horse, that's what I would choose to be doing too. So I'm just letting this rest. There goes a horse transporter there. Oh, there's a truck. You came on a truck. Yeah.
If everyone can please hit the like button, that would be fantastic. Let's show some support today. Thank you.
When I say this has to be her idea, and if you watch any of the other videos, you'll see there was a 45-minute stream where it took me, well, there's an hour stream, it took me a good, I see that release there with the mouth there, she's saying, I'm going to open that mouth a little. This is fine, we're going to ask her to drop. 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 Good girl. And then I'm going to ask her to have a smell of it, and even a taste. She's almost ready to comply here. So this is just touching her lips. And if she wants to have a nibble on it, she can. But what we're not going to do is jam that into her teeth and demand that she takes it. The second I do that, I will undo everything I've ever done in regards to bridling her from the get-go. And this horse used to drop instantly, release and open her mouth and take the bit with not a problem. Good girl. Good girl. Now relax. Good girl. Now relax. Don't get too close because she might smack that camera up and then we're going to have a problem with her.
Yep.
Not liking that in her face either. I'm going to wait for her to decide. I'm just going to wait a second. I'm not going to rush her. And this is where you'll see people fighting up in the air with them. And that is not good. And the whole reason this is all happening like this is because there's a lady that's learning who had a bit of an issue with her the other day, and that's undone everything very quickly. And it's not the lady's fault, the lady's a learner, she's got to learn somehow. But I probably should have got her to learn on a different horse that's a lot easier. And when she comes next time, that's what I'll do. Now look at this, she says, I'm going to think about opening here. I'm licking it and I'm ready to go, but I'm not going to do it. And a lot of people have different ways of putting bridles on. You can put them on in several different ways. I like the horse to decide for itself when it's ready. And what I'm going to do, because I'm not really coordinated all that well myself right now. She's like, what are you doing? Drop. Good girl. Just going to take my time. Drop. And she knows how long she's going to be here. If she doesn't take it, it's going to be, could be hours. It could be hours and hours and hours. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. Just depends on when she decides and what she's deciding. Now, a lot of people like to put the finger in the mouth, and that is one way. The most difficult drop. Good girl. And you see there, she opened her mouth for me and she's dropping her head for me. That's submission where she's decided that's okay. So that's what we want to see. We don't want to see me reaching up in the air like this with her head up there and me going like that. Because if we're doing that, we are fighting with a mare that you don't want to fight with. So that took a little bit of time, but I want to show you the right way with her. And I say with her because other horses are different. Every one of my horses bridles differently. Some you have to wait patiently, some just split their mouth open instantly and go, yep, let's go. I'm just going to show her, walk her up round for a second, just for a bit of leadership. And look, it's not to say you can't have a horse that you can just quickly jump on and go. I've got one over there. I can just quickly settle her up and off I can go, and I can go all day long. And she's an easy horse in that way. But this is a young horse who's really just starting her life, and as a result, we do not want to create a drama that lands her later on down the track in a bad state, or if she ever did get, moved onto a different person or somebody else wanted to take her out, do things with her, we want her to handle things. So to make a good stable foundation for us as riders, we need to be making sure when we're on the ground that everything's good before we get up on their back. And if she's not good on the ground, I don't get on her back. It's that simple. Now that bird is... I think we'll just leave it as it is. I don't think we need to go any tighter. Go any tighter, we're going to have a problem. I've got a lot of room there. I don't know. I've got pull her up one extra, so we'll try it. There we go. Okay, you can. You could do one. And then what I'll do is I'll just get her to go around again. Like that. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to have this getting in the way. We want this to be Now, thanks for bearing with me and being patient. But if you're somebody who doesn't know much about horses, my suggestion is you're going to figure your horse out yourself, first and foremost. Don't let other people tell you about your horse that you're with all the time that you know well. This is where equestrians make the mistake of telling other people that they're doing things wrong. You're doing wrong, the horse will let you know you're doing wrong. The horse will either kick you, bite you, buck you, or do something like that if you're doing it wrong. They'll let you know. They're not stupid, they're smart. If they're letting us know, we need to look at what we're doing. It's good to video yourself and watch it back. I watch myself back all the time and I see mistakes all the time. And I've been doing this a lifetime. And I still make mistakes because I'm human. Some days I'll misjudge her temperament and I'll think, she's really good today, she's fine, I'll get on, and then she spooks and I nearly come off. Other times I'll think she's going to kill me, and she's absolutely not. She's just having a moment for a minute. She'll go completely nuts, and then you can get on her and she's perfectly fine. So it really is getting to know them and just learning about your horse and spending a lot of time, not in the saddle, but on the ground.
That's right. Groundwork is extremely important.
You'll know them a lot better for it. And eventually what will happen is you gel with them so well, and if you're consistent, you'll end up with a horse that it might still have some quirks about it, but it's going to be a lot easier to deal with. And look how slow she is. She's giving the cat the eye there. So she's just had a look at the cat and gone, you bugger of a cat, you're lying around in the sun, which is what I want to do. And look at this, I'm being made to do it. Come on, lady, buck. So I want to be sure she's not going to go apeshit on me when I get on. And she really has never gone apeshit on me on the back of her, ever. The only thing we've ever had happen in the entire time I've ridden her from the minute she's broken into now is she got stung by a wasp. And it's all on YouTube, you can look it up and see. Woman gets thrown through fence, it's on my channel.
Yep. Check that out, guys. It's a very harrowing video.
And it was no fault of her own and no fault of mine. We just had a bad moment where a wasp decided to sting her with some kind of weird botfly thing. It wasn't a botfly, I think it was like a big giant horsefly. It decided to sting her while we were just cruising along nicely. And she went from 0 to 1,000,000 miles in full gallop. I lasted 8 seconds, as long as a bull ride, to win the bull ride. And then I tried to bail myself, and that's how I got hurt. I should have stayed on and tried to correct, but I tried to bail. I've just got to clean that up. Where did it go? It's over here. And clean as you go. If you're working in a round yard area, clean as you go. If they do a poop, get it sorted out so it's out the way. You're not slipping and sliding, and you're not getting too high over your feet sliding out. Because poop that's fresh is very slippery. If it's good poop, it's slippery because it's moist. If you've got a horse that's poop's dry, not good. It's got to be moist.
Come on, guys. We've got 108 people in the room. Can we please get 100 likes?
Yeah, guys, if you wouldn't mind giving Ellie a thumbs up, don't worry about me. Ellie's the one we're worrying about. She's the one who's doing all the important work in basically I'm entrusting my life to her. And you do. Every time you get on a horse, it's dangerous. You can have the best horse on the planet, and a few people in the chat will tell you this who have horses. Ian is one who is a very knowledgeable horseman, and he'll tell you about how you could have the best horse, the quietest horse in the world, and you can still be hurt or killed. They are a flight animal, so their instinct will override anything that we do. What we've got to do is try to keep them as calm as we can and trust them, and for them to trust us enough to calm down if they do freak out. And it can be hard, especially the young horse that's not sure, that hasn't got any experience about things. They can really have a hard time. But she did well, because after I came off her, I think about 4 weeks later, I think it was, I was able to get back on. I was still in pain, but I got back on. I was like, ugh, shaking like a damn leaf. She just took it in a stride. She just calm as anything. And I was a little worried, because sometimes with a young horse, when you've had an experience like that, they'll take that to heart and go, oh, next time someone's on me, that means I'm going to have something bad happen. I'll take off.
That's right.
So she's really, really good and very patient and very calm in these kinds of instances. She doesn't hold a grudge, put it that way.
Kathy Smith says, so cute. Absolutely. She's extremely cute. Thank you, Kathy.
Now,
Let's see if we can even out these numbers. 102 people in the room and only 14 likes. Let's see if we can make that an even match.
thanks to the people who have given Ellie a like. Ellie is a very likeable horse. And you don't have to like the rider to like the horse. But I'll tell you one thing that I am a big believer in with horses. I believe everybody should have the right to be able to experience being around a horse at some point in their life. And it shouldn't have to cost them $1,000 to do so. It shouldn't have to cost them $100. They should just be able to do it. So my way in my life of giving back and being grateful is that when I meet people who haven't got that opportunity, I offer that opportunity. And currently, I've actually got one lady that comes regularly and rides, and I'm teaching her everything with Ellie, and she's doing really well. And I also have another young lady that may be joining us soon. She's got a broken ankle, so once that heals up, we'll see how we go. Now, watching her body language here, she says, oh, are we going to do this? Are we doing this? And how are we doing this?
Do you ride horses, Kathy?
Stop. Stop. Good girl. I'm going to put a little weight on there. I'm going to jump on. Yeah, good girl.
Good work.
Good girl. The kookaburras are going off over the back end. Now, I did a mistake then. Does anyone know what I just did wrong? Did a really big boo-boo actually, very dangerous thing. Anyone know what I did wrong? It's wrong for me. It might not be wrong for other people, but I had my bridle just like that. And when I got on, I didn't touch my bridle. I just got on without it. When I really should have, because she's a young horse, had myself ready so I could pull her up if she decided to start moving when I'm getting on. Now she's pretty well trained and she knows not to move while I get on. She knows to stand still. And she knows when to move, so what will happen is when I go like this, that's her cue to move. Now I'll give it again, and then she moves. Without that cue, she won't move. Now she's going to try and go over the top of that, so we're going to turn her that way. It's going to go slow. And I'll tell you how I'm going right now. I'm actually feeling a little nervous. The wind is picking up. And she will know that I'm nervous at this point. Good girl, good job. I'm having right now. She's handling me really well. I just want to breathe a little bit better and relax myself.
And for those of you just tuning in, can you please hit that like button? It really helps out Nervous Rider's channel and helps her keep going.
That way I can kick it with some people that would not otherwise not be able to do the opportunity to actually work. Now see, that's scaring the shit out of me. So I'm going to park for a second and I'm going to just park the other step. No, parking. There we go. And with your parking. Drop. And I'm asking her to drop her neck so when I'm hopping down she's comfortable. There we go. She's not raising her neck up going, oh, freaking out. Best thing you can teach a horse is how to drop their head. That's the first thing I do with the horses I work with. And I mostly work with horses that are basically either free or cheap because nobody wants them because, and look at this, she's seeking for me to let that bridle off. She says, I'm done, you're done. I'm not done yet. She doesn't know I'm not done yet. I'm just having a nervous breakdown right now. So I've got to wait a minute until I calm myself down. I got a bit spooked when the ting started rattling. She's used to it. I just like it. So if you're going to get on a horse and you're frightened at all, try and do some breathing and calm yourself down as much as you can. Make sure you have a horse that understands anxiety in people as much as you understand anxiety in the horse. She is a brilliant horse for an anxious person. You could be the worst anxious person in the planet and this horse will be the perfect horse for you because she has had me and I started her and did most of the process of breaking her in. The only thing I didn't do was the first backing of the saddle. I got everything ready and done, so I was getting on her bareback. That I didn't want to back her with the saddle. I wasn't sure about doing that, and I didn't want to come off and injure myself having already broken my spine one time. Don't want to do that again. And I also have 4 discs in my neck that don't sit right, so I've got to be very careful. So I sent her to a breaker. They couldn't wait to get rid of her, to be honest. She was the naughtiest horse there. When we went there, I think it was the day after she got dropped there, we went down there. She was attacking all the horses next to her. So she's one who doesn't like other horses and she'll just go at them. She wants to be the boss. And she got such a pest, they couldn't put her in the paddock. She was stuck in a little tiny, probably 10 foot by 6 foot stable and yard. Yard was maybe another 10 foot by 10 foot. Which is pretty small for her considering how she's usually out and about. And she stayed there for 2.5 weeks and she only got 5 days in of work because the weather was terrible. But when they were working with her, they were so like, she's such a stubborn, slow, lazy girl. You know, she's not really going to be much good. Then when she came back, I left her, and the reason we didn't finish the breaking process there, they didn't finish it, was because we just determined her leg structure and stuff hadn't quite gotten to the point where it was strong enough, and he was right about that. So we gave her 6 months off, and then I started her back here by myself, and I finished the process. So she's basically, you know, the cowboys wouldn't pick a horse like her because she's too slow, but she's actually not. She can get going. She can do barrels. She can do all sorts of stuff. When she goes 100 miles an hour, she goes 100 miles an hour. But her demeanour and her usual self is just this big sulky sook. Sooky lala, aren't she? And she just wants to lie in the sun or munch grass in the sun, and that's about all she wants to do. She's so quiet. You can play guitar on her. You can play a tambourine on her. You can bring an electric guitar in here and basically do a whole jam session and she'll just hang there, and she couldn't care less. But if I try it with the other horses, they just scatter. So she's really got a very quiet nature, but she's also got a very stubborn nature and a very strong will, which is a bad thing, depending on what's happening. Now, I don't know what side I got on. I probably got on that side. Get on the other side now. Well, let's see how she reacts to me. That's another thing you want to practice with the horses. Getting on, getting off, getting on, getting off. Good girl. Now that little movement that she just did then, what she's done there is she's tried to catch her foot on the lip of this. There we go. Back out. Now it is a deliberate thing that she does because she wants to put her foot on here, so that means she doesn't have to work. She's moved back, so we're going to ask her to move forward. Correct that. Come on. Instead. Good girl. There we go. And she's going to go back again, so I'm going to ask her again. And she knows the game.
Hi, Blue Mushroom. Blue Mushroom says it looks like she is saying that you are interfering with her nap time.
Yeah, well, she thinks her nap time is all day long. That's the problem. She's a lazy girl. But yeah, you're right about that. Sometimes she is saying that. She is saying, I don't want to work. And a lot of young horses are like that. They don't want to work. It's a routine you've got to get them into. You've got to build the muscle. And once she gets used to it and she builds her muscles up, she can get really right into it and she enjoys herself.
That's right.
Think of being stuck in a cycle of hardly anything happening.
Do you ride horses, Blue Mushroom?
And I'll just ask her to go a little quicker.
Blue Mushroom says, I love her. You are doing great. Thanks, Blue Mushroom.
She just slowed down then because I'm apprehensive about going at the top. She's playing up a little. Doesn't want to listen. She wants to go into the middle. She wants to carry.
Oh, you have too many horses. Oh, very cool. Well, Nervous Rider here has a mini horse as well. That's really cool. So Blue Mushroom has a miniature horse.
Now something's going on here. I think she's feeling like she's got a bit of something stuck in her throat, so we're going to stop. Actually, we need to turn and get on the other side. But she's doing a bit of a huff there. And if she's huffing, she could have something caught in the throat, and that might be why she's being a bit apprehensive right now. Good girl, good job. Up and stay. Good girl. And well, no, not over the top. Not over the top.
This horse is incredible. She knows when to park and how to park. So cool.
Yeah, she knows how to park like that, which is not cool.
And that's something that has taken Nervous Rider a very long time.
Let's get her off of there. There we go. Yeah, the thing is, it's all about consistency. Anybody can really do anything with a horse. It's being able to get the time to do it and the consistency. And to have the confidence. That was not really smart. So see how she's kicked that there? What she's doing there is saying, I'm not going to take my weight down until she settles herself down. Now, here we go. She's saying, I don't want to do anything. That's okay. I don't really want to do anything today myself. I'm actually glad she's at a moment where she's actually done something like that and I stayed on. Don't I usually jump and freak out?
Yes.
So the fact that I stayed on and corrected that it's giving me a bit of a heart palpitation, but that's a big win for me. Because ordinarily she'll get me off and I'll flip out, and that's where you've got to be so careful with young horses. When my other rider comes, she just ignores all that, but she's not scared and she just pushes us through it and goes right on. With me, I start shaking and freaking out and she knows. So what we're going to do is, she wants this bit out, so we're going to take that out, but we're not going to finish yet. We're going to get her the bitless bridle, and we're going to see that. So remember, whenever you're taking a bridle off a horse, The best way to do it is to have the head down, and you teach your horse to open and spit. So they don't get it hooked on the back of their teeth and rear up, and then you're pulling like that. And then you're pulling, yeah, I know, Bob. And they get a bad reaction and bad thing happening. And she knows to keep right down low and spit.
Good job. Raven Ride says, "Where TF you at? It is 12 at night for me."
I'm on the other side of the world. If it's midnight there, I'm on the other side of the world.
What kind of horses do you have, Raven?
I'll be back. I'm going to grab the Bridling spider. And I want to photo the difference between her and the Bridling one.
Spotted saddle. Very cool. I have no idea what that is because I don't know my horses, but that sounds like a very impressive horse. TN walking. Very cool. Hi, Ellie. Oh, okay. I think I know what that. So gated means like they're well kept. That's cool. Okay, so Raven Rides has spotted saddle. So that's like is that a type of horse?
I've not heard of the spotted saddle, but
That's pretty cool.
that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I don't know about many things at all. I'm pretty limited with my knowledge because I don't do showing and I don't go around other horse people. I literally do everything by myself.
Yeah. Hey, Rachel.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different breeds depending on where in the world you are. Americans have different horses as well to what we have here. Sometimes they look very similar. Like the American saddlebred is quite similar to the thoroughbred.
Oh, wow,
The
fantastic.
standard bred.
Thanks for subscribing, Raven. So Raven has videos about her horses.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I'll check them out.
Awesome.
You might be able to help me with some things because I don't know if you've ever been nervous about your horses, but once your confidence goes, it can be awfully hard. And she knows what I'm about to do, so I'm going to come around.
Yep. Oh, well, happy birthday in 2 weeks then, if we don't hear from you before then.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So she's going to run, so we're going to say, all right, you're going to run, we're going to keep moving then. And this is what you do. If they're not listening, you make them keep moving. And then we're going to, whoa, basic. And automatically she'll slow down. And she's easily to catch then. But that only works if you're willing to put in the effort in the beginning. And this is the thing, a lot of people buy a horse that's young, send it to a breaker. The breaker's not there to educate, the breaker's there to break and get them going, not to educate.
Thank you, Raven. I appreciate that. And could you please also subscribe to the new Pirate Lord? I appreciate that. Everyone subscribe to everyone. Thank you.
Now, she has grown. I remember when I bought this swum on her. She has grown. Let's release that a little bit. That's a little bit
Thank you
tight.
so much.
And, you know, I'm self-taught with everything that I do. And I've spoken to a few people who are in the show industry and stuff. My breaker couldn't put a bridle on this horse. I did it in 2 seconds because I trained her from the get-go. But when he went to do it, he did it in a different way. And I had told him and showed him how I did it. And I said, this is how she goes. He says, no, I do it in this way. Well, he spent about half an hour fighting her, and he's a big, tall fella. And it ended up with him jumping up like this to get the bridle on. But I wasn't very happy about that. I was like, well, hang on a second, just undone all the work I did. And it took me a couple of weeks to get her back into where she needs to be.
Wow, so cool. Thank
But,
you. Okay, so what breed is she? Raven asks.
What is she?
Yeah.
She's an Appaloosa cross with a gypsy cob. It's a bit of a strange mix. But yeah, that's what she is, Appy cross gypsy. You can see she looks more gypsy. She's got the gypsy eye, so you can see the whites of her eyes. And she looks a bit cartoonish in her features, which is an Appaloosa trait. But she also has the gypsy's more of the feathering down the bottom of the hair. And she also has the gypsy's shape in the back end,
Wow.
which is more the square.
So
The
cool.
Appies are more round and fat. The gypsies are more square in the bum because they're designed as a cart horse, so they have big hind ends that are square and blocky. It helps them pull on a cart. They've been bred for centuries to do so.
Wow.
The Appaloosa is more of a Western style horse that's used ranching and things like that. So she's a mix of two worlds, and she's got a good temperament. Some Appaloosas, we had one fella here called Arrow, and he was an absolute bastard of a thing, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He was a beautiful horse, but brainless. Didn't know how to preserve himself. That's another thing. Some horses are silly. They don't preserve themselves. It's like people. You get idiots that jump off bridges into water without checking for rocks first. Well, Appaloosas have a tendency to be a breed where they'll do stupid stuff. So you really have to work with educating them to get them to really concentrate. But she's actually highly intelligent for an Appy. She's probably the most intelligent Appy I've come across. I've seen a few and been around a few.
Hey, Michael.
So, you know, it depends on also the environment they're in. When I got her, she'd come from an environment which was a show lady. And that lady was brilliant at showing, won Royal Easter shows and did all this, but couldn't control this horse as a 4-month-old baby. And gave up. And it ended with her selling her to me because she was pinning the woman against a brick wall and holding her there with her backside and refusing to let her go until she was ready. And the lady had MS and was very ill. And when she was talking to me, she said, I hope you can handle a horse that's got its own mind. And I said, look, I've worked with mostly horses that have never been handled and nobody will deal with. They're usually skittish, they usually bolt, they usually do all the things, so I'm not worried about that. I got a bit of a shock when we got her because she was a lot bigger than most of the horses that I work with, because I usually work with about 13 hands, 14 hands and under. And she kind of was straight away a little bit headstrong and thinking she could push me around. Remember the first thing she did, got off the truck and turned it back right in, put it right in my face
She definitely did.
instantly, and trying to go back into me. I just, bam,
Yeah.
on the bum, move yourself. She got a shock. She was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Graham, my horse transporter, who works with Prestige Horse Transport. If you ever need a transporter, get Prestige. They're a racehorse transporter, but they also do other horses.
Awesome. Okay, so Raven's in the USA. Awesome. So cool. Yeah, yeah. Thanks to the New Power Lord. We're definitely in Australia. Cool. And we have Ariana. Hi, Ariana.
I'm not using
So
the
cool.
block. I've got to use the block.
So Raven says, I almost got kicked in the head a week ago. Laugh out loud. I train horses for a living. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Hats off to you. I mean, I know exactly what you mean. If you breed them wrong, you can die. And even when you think, the worst thing you can do with a horse is be arrogant and think that you know everything. Because they'll soon change your mind. And this is why I really just hang by myself, because there's so many opinions in the horse world. I always say to people, and this is different for her than riding with the bit. So we're riding without a bit now. And look at how she responds to... No. All right, now she's going over the top again. No, I just put her over the top. Okay, there we go. How she responds to this as opposed to having a bit in her mouth is very different. She's a little bit more headstrong. And she's a little bit more like...
Oh, wow. Trained your whole life. Awesome.
I would never try to train someone else's horses. I'll only do my own because I'm not confident. I have people ask me to do things for them, and I'll give them advice if they ask what would you do in this situation. But I'll never train their horses because I just don't have the confidence. I admire people who do. Now I'm going to ask her to keep moving there. She's being really headstrong here, so I'm going to do a one-rein stop here, and I'm going to ask her to stand and see how she's throwing her head around and being silly because she doesn't have the bit in. So she's going, okay, I'm going to control the situation, and I can see something wrong here. want her to give. No, there's something going on with her throat. Can you hear that sound?
Yeah, she did a bit of a cough there.
Yeah.
Again, yeah.
So she's probably got a bit of a choke thing going on from the hay. I'm going to jump down. Oh, she's like that. Have a bit of a look. Wait, let's take this off. Sounds like she's got something taut.
Raven says that was amazing.
Thank you. I'm just a little concerned about making a bit of a sound. I've never heard her do this. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like she may have something just up here. That's what it sounds like. It's coming from just here.
Oh, yeah.
She might cough it out, but I don't want to be on her if she panics and it comes up.
Yep.
And
Raven says, I'm proud of you. And we have Mini Molly Hill Hunter and says she is so beautiful.
She is. She's a lovely girl.
Hi, Molly.
She often gets mistaken for a boy because she's because of the colour she is, and she's got a funny face. She could be a boy if you looked at her and you didn't know she was a girl. But she's still a pretty girl. You're a pretty girly boy girl. You're a tomboy, aren't you? You act like you're a stallion sometimes, don't you? Now I will get up on here and take that off.
Thank you, Pirate. And guys,
Oh, yeah,
subscribe
what
to.
owns this horse?
Yes, this is the new Pirate Lord's horse. So
And
yeah,
she's trusting me with her horse. The only reason I'll do her horse is because she's my daughter. If she wasn't my daughter, I wouldn't touch the horse.
thank you so much, Raven Rides.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
Now, do not do that. Do not leave that on the ground. Bad idea. Cause a problem.
So Mini Molly Hill Hunter you do hunters at Molly Hill. Very cool. Bye, Raven. Hope to see you again. Thank you so much, and we'll subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Just leave a comment, Raven, on one of my videos so I can find you, because it's hard for me to find you, because once I turn it off, the stream off, I can't see where you're at. So that's pretty much all I want to do with her today, which isn't much, but yeah, I don't know if she's choking or if I don't think she's discovered a new way to get me off by carrying on. She's not stupid. It could be.
Hi, Reggie. How are you?
That's what happened. There we go. Have a clear throat out, bub.
So Mini Molly has, you have 3 horses and a thoroughbred and 1 Arab and a halfling cross. Oh, that's a lot of horses.
You game if you got an Arab. There's a half Arab over there. Half Arabian and half Welsh Mountain.
Terrific.
Now, give me a second. I'm just gonna. What I might do is swap them out. Bring Zara in for a minute.
Cool. Hey, Ellie. All done. Awesome. I hope everybody is having a great day. We're having a really awesome day out here, and we got Miss Zara over here, our Arab cross, or no, actually, not an Arab cross. She's an Arab. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
Ellie, what happened?
So we're gonna swap horses here in a minute.
Now what's that off? Actually, maybe I should let her have some time out, do you think?
Is that gate shut? Yeah, I've shut it. Yeah.
Or will I not do it while we're like that?
Mm.
Push them down, do you reckon?
I think it'd be okay.
Okay, I'll leave her out whenever I've got Zara out.
Yeah.
I'll take that off. I'd never leave my horses with that halter on. Never.
Yeah.
Never.
I might just quickly run down and just make sure that other gate's shut.
Yep.
So I'll just pop this over here before you let her out, and here we go.
Good girl. Such a good girl.
Be sure to like and subscribe, everybody. I appreciate you all.
Yeah, thank you guys for your patience too, because I am a very slow person with what I do, so I don't necessarily go fast with anything. I've actually slowed down a lot over the last couple of years, and that's because I had a stroke. So my balance is really bad. That's also part of why I have difficulty when I'm riding. I feel like I'm going forwards or backwards. So I've noticed when I watch myself, I'm leaning forwards, but I actually feel like I'm straight when I'm forwards. So when I'm straight, I feel like I'm leaning backwards. It's called vertigo, and I get it a lot. And it's just part of what's happened to my brain since I had a stroke. So my balance isn't good anymore, and everyone who rides horses knows that you need good balance. If you don't have good balance, you don't feel confident to stay on point with things. But is that shut? Okay, I'm going to let her out. She can come for a play. And I'll go and grab, I'll give this to you for a sec. I'll go and grab, what's her name? Zara.
So cool.
Come on, bub. Get up. Good girl. I'll just change over the gear.
Hey, Jory. Ariana, yep, you have to take your time with horses. They're very much a thing where you've got to just put a lot of time and effort with them, and can be sometimes often very mentally and emotionally taxing. You had a really bad fall 1 month ago and sprained your ankle. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah. Falling off is so hard, and people say, oh, just get on. I had some woman say to me a few months ago, just get on. Stop being stupid. Well, I don't even think the person has ever fallen off a horse or had an accident, but I kind of thought, well, you know what, if I did that, I'm going to have another accident. I probably won't survive the next one, because if I'm not confident enough, I'm not going to be able to stop anything from going wrong if the situation, and you can never control the environment around you. You can really never control a horse. You're asking them to work with you, and that's all you can sort of do. Good girl.
That's right. Wow, guys, so we have nearly 100 people in the room and only 25 likes. Can we even those numbers out? Can we get 100 likes? Thank you. Ellie's having some din-din. Oh, thank you so much. This is the new Pirate Lord's horse. Okay, see you, Rachel. Thanks for stopping by. And Rachel's got an excellent channel, the new Pirate Lord. So guys, subscribe to her channel. Excellent gaming and commentary and great personality. And she's a professional chef as well. And so if you guys subscribe, you might later on get to see some famous people as well. So that's really, really cool. Thank you. I'm not actually sure. I think it's probably, well, I can't really see the time. Ooh, look, we got here. Thank you so much, Molly, Minnie. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Now you watch what happens with this girl. She's going to take off on me. She'll start going crazy, and then she'll probably go as well. So we've got to be careful.
Duchess and Bam, hi, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Elvis Lover, hi.
Oh, I love Elvis. Elvis is great.
So cool.
Hang on, let me catch this girl.
Dominique, Roy, hi, how are you? Pretty buckskin, says Dominique.
Yeah, she's lovely. What I don't want to do is have the three of these going berserk, so I've got to be very careful how I do this. Because she's going to want to avoid me because I rode her a couple of days ago, so she's going to be...
Oh, thank you so much, Dominique. We're doing fantastic today.
I'm just going to walk along with her and ask her to keep moving. The reason I'm asking her to move is because I want her to get sick of moving and give herself up. So that's what we want. And she will. Calm down in a minute.
So Elvis, we have a buckskin Arab over here. This little fellow, he's a chestnut. And over here we have a Welsh chocolate varnish brown Appaloosa Welsh cross gypsy. Yep. Yes, yes. So the Arab here, she's very spicy, can be spicy sometimes.
That's okay. She knows she'll give up soon enough.
Gonna get this thing out of the way.
Careful here because these two don't get along. If I get stuck between them, look at this. She's going to challenge her. See that tail swish?
Yep.
So you don't want to be around that, nor do you want to encourage that. So
You love buckskins. Awesome.
a lot of people
Yeah.
like buckskins.
We too.
Starting with the Cimarron with the buckskin, and that really helped us.
Yes. Spirit starting to the Cimarron. That's
This
right.
attitude she's got. She's a freaky man. Look, he's going to bite her.
Oh, wow.
And this is where everything can go crazy very quickly. And yeah, whoa! Right?
Yes. Very unusual breed, Ellie is.
Yeah. This one, I've never seen one other Appaloosa cross with a gypsy cob, and it was very different to her. It was more happy than she is.
And so, yeah, Zara here, who's the buckskin, she is, how old is she? She's 16. I'm not too sure. Whoa.
She just beat me.
Oh my goodness.
Beat me.
Now is Ellie? Sorry, is Zara mixed?
That was the Welsh Mountain cross with an Arab.
Welsh Mountain cross with an Arab. Yep.
The Arab is coming out right now.
Yep. Very spicy horse. Uh-oh, she's trying to go in the box. Good job. Yes, yeah, a bit of a mix there. It's very pretty.
Fancy. And what she'll do, she'll try and drive the rest of them towards me. That's what I'm asking.
So good advice for someone thinking about getting their first horse. I do have experience, but nervous about getting one myself. Nervous Rider's a little bit busy right now, but I can partially answer that question for you. What you want to do is you want to start with one that has a very calm nature. And typically there are a lot of older horses that have a lot more experience with people. So try and look for a horse that's going to give you, that has a lot of experience with people, especially people who are nervous and beginners. And typically the age bracket is in the older horse age bracket.
Let's go. Yeah. Come on. And watch what happens when she's in her paddock. Let's go.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. You have two black Arabians, father and son. Both of them are very spicy. I love them. Awesome, Dominique.
So you can see she has a different attitude when she's out to when she's in here. Now I'm going to ask her to keep moving forward until she gives me up. I'll let her have a drink first.
While she's having a drink, I got a question for you. So Ariana asks, what's good advice for someone thinking about getting their first horse? I do have experience, but nervous about getting one myself.
That's understandable, being nervous about getting a horse. It's frightening buying a horse. What I would do is, number one, Go to a few riding places if you can, if you can afford to, or if you've got some friends with horses. Then when you go to buy your horse, always make sure you get a vet check done. And you take someone who's knowledgeable, who knows about behaviours with you. In particular about behaviours, because they can spot things like people drugging horses. Horses get drugged all the time. You find a lot of pretty horses like her in the knackery, and they sell for $100. And it's not because of anything other than people have passed them on, sold them, drugged them up, sold them as a quiet horse. They get it home, the kid gets nearly killed on it, so they toss them to the knackery. You don't want to buy something that's going to be a problem for you if it's your very first horse, your very quiet, calm horse. It's very hard to get them within a budget. But what you can do is go on something like Facebook Marketplace if you appeal to them. The other thing you want to do is also make sure you've got everything that you need before you buy your horse. Make sure you have your paddock organised. If you don't own land, make sure you've got adjustment organised, and it's going to be permanent adjustment for as long as you need it. Because what a lot of people do is they'll buy a horse before they even get an adjustment. And they just assume that there's adjustment everywhere, and there's not. And then they can't get somewhere for their horse to stay. And they end up having to get rid of the horse as soon as they buy it, which is really sad. So always be prepared, and don't buy your saddle before you buy your horse. A lot of people buy the saddle, then buy the horse, and the saddle doesn't fit. And there's 10 million saddles for sale because people don't think. So always have your saddle after you buy your horse, then buy a saddle that's going to fit. Make sure it gets fitted properly by a professional. You can learn how to. It's not hard to fit a saddle. You can learn how to. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube. There's a lot of people with a lot of knowledge. I know how to fit my horses. I learnt from a lady who was a saddle fitter for years. She's in her 80s. And she's old school, so she's not modern. She won't try and give you gimmicks and tell you need changeable gullets and this and that and the other. Those saddles are no good. You'll find hundreds of them for sale because they're no good. What you need is something that's going to hold you in, support your body, but support the horse's back. You want something that fits the width of the horse's gullet, the size of the horse's back, and also it's not too narrow if you've got a wide horse, or too wide if you've got a narrow horse. And really, your horse will tell you if you've got the wrong saddle. They'll buck. If your saddle's not good, they'll start bucking, and you'll come off, or something will happen. You might not come off if you're a good rider, you might stay on. I've had saddles on her that didn't fit her, and she goes wild like a bronco. So I'll know very quickly. She'll tell me really quick. Look at her, she's cranky, look, lips dropped. She says, I don't want that.
Yeah, it's a fantastic question, Ariana. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. That's a really good question. A lot of people don't ask those questions. Huh?
Okay, Dominique, awesome. So you have two black Arabians, father and son. Yep, very cool. Gypsy Vanners are great for a first horse. Yep, they have great dispositions. You have your eye on a piebald. Very cool. Cedic saddles were made just for him. Very, very cool. That's awesome. You guys are being fantastic. Thank you guys so much. And we have 86 people in the room. Can we get that up to 80? Can we get all the likes up to 80? That would be fantastic. Now we got 100 people.
Okay, now we've caught Miss Prissy. And look at the attitude this horse has. This is why nobody wanted her. And why I got her. Because I knew what this means. And it didn't scare me. And I'm glad I did, because she's actually a brilliant, she's one of the best horses I've ever had. Despite the attitude that she has, she's a brilliant horse for communicating with. She's very expressionate. And horses that are expressionate, generally intelligent, and a lot easier to work with. They're also self-preserving and smart. They won't run into a tree if you point them at one. They'll go round the tree. So they've got the ability to,